Hey everybody, it's Diane Hochman on the Diane Hochman Show here on the Home Business Radio Network, Positive Powered Radio. How's everybody doing tonight? I am jacked up. I am double dipped. I have a show for you. We have things to talk about. We have things to dish on. And the topic for today that I want to talk to you about, and I hope you have a notebook for the Home Business Radio Network. I hope you have a beautiful journal, notebook, something you picked up. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it's real important when you tune into these shows that you are grabbing some notes, because we are dishing out years and years. In fact, sooner or later, I'm going to have to add up the years of experience of the crew that you're getting here on the Home Business Radio Network. It's absolutely stunning what we have available. So tonight, I want to talk to you about belief. And I want to talk to you about the 4 kinds of belief that you need to develop if you want to go to the moon in your home business. Now, I first heard this concept years ago from a trailblazer, a leader, a master in the industry, Dale Calvert. Now, whether he made it up or whether he got it from someone that walked before him, I'm not sure, but I heard it from Dale, so you always got to give credit where credit is due. There's 4 kinds of belief you want to work on. And the first one you want to work on is belief in your product. Okay, guys, if you are marketing a product, you're selling a lotion, a potion, a pill, a powder, I don't know what you're selling, electrical service, video, email, whatever it is you're into, candles or hot, whatever you're selling, you want to have a real belief in that product. And the best way to get that belief is simply the old mantra in the industry, be a product of the products. If you're selling health and nutrition, you want to take those products every day. If you're selling, video, email, or technical stuff, or hosting, or, web rooms, you want to be using them every day. Whatever it is you're selling, you want to be using it, on it, in it, around it, so that you have a full and complete belief in the quality and the efficacy of your product. Now, the next thing you need to have belief in is your company, the company that you're representing. If you're representing one, or some of you guys have a couple of different things in your mix, you want to have a belief in the company. Because here's what happens. Here's what happens, guys. And I'm going to spend the most of the time on the last 2 beliefs, because these beliefs, these 2 that we're doing up front, probably be topics of whole shows, because they're so profound. But when you're dealing with a company, if there's I call it walking around with a question mark on your forehead. If you're not sure that you're, that the company you're dealing with is totally 100% on the up and up, if you're iffy on it, then you're walking around with a question mark on your forehead or a question mark in your voice. And when people hear you, when you present, when you show them what you have, if you're iffy, believe me, they're going to be iffy. They're going to be real iffy. So how do you work on your belief in the company? One, you get down to those corporate events. You get down. Sometimes you can even go on a tour of the company. Depending on the size of the company you're dealing with, you can get to know the owners or the top leaders. You can sometimes get down to the plant where they manufacture products if you're selling a hard product. You want to go in and you want to see what's going on firsthand with your own eyeballs. Now, do you have to travel across the country to go to a factory or something? Absolutely not. But you can do it also by getting on the corporate conference calls, the corporate webinars, whatever your company has available to you. You want to jump on every week so you start to build a real belief. And then the other way you come to really believe in the product as well as the company is to hear the stories, to hear the testimonials. That's what always got me. Back when I started, I was working in a health and wellness company. And every time we'd have an event or a call, the stories and the testimonies were just, the people's lives were altered. So that is really what gave me big belief. So work on those 2. You have to develop that. You have to cultivate that. And then also you cultivate it in your team, in your distributors, the reps that you bring on board, helping them build those beliefs. Now, the next one we need to believe in is the industry, the home-based business industry, or if you're in network marketing, the network marketing industry. This is a fine profession that we are in, and you can cultivate your belief in the industry, because people are going to knock it down. It's funny, if you became a doctor and said, hi, I just became a doctor, everybody would cheer for you. But if you tell somebody, I just started my own home-based business so I can be home with my kids or I can travel or whatever, people get all funky. Why? I don't know. As Jim Rohn says, it's a mystery. I wouldn't sign up for that class. But you need to cultivate your belief in the industry. Great way to do that, one, is right here on the Home Business Radio Network. You're listening to people from all different companies, all different backgrounds, all banding together to share the good news of this industry. So that's got to say something for it. There's lots of great books about the industry. There's lots of great generic different events and things. I just got invited to be in a great panel in a big industry-wide event coming up. I've spoken at lots of those events. Love it. People from all over the industry coming together. Build your belief in this industry, what a fine profession it is, and what a fine group of leaders and pioneers that you are now colleagues with. And now I'm saving a good portion of the show, half of the show really, to dig in on the last belief. Because the last belief is the one that matters. The last belief is the one that even if you cultivate the first three, but you don't have this one, you're going to struggle. And I got to tell you, this was hard for me. Many of you guys know my story. When I got started, I was, broke, and I had really run myself health-wise into a mess. We had a lot of bad stuff going on in our lives, and I had a hard time when I got started because I didn't have this core belief. So what is belief number 4? Remember, we went through product, company, industry, and belief number 4 is belief in yourself. We've grown up, most of us. We've been groomed to be employees. We've been trained since the time we were little children to follow directions, to do as we're told. And we've been trained like little Pavlovian dogs. Do a good job, you get a pellet, you get a treat. So when you were a child, it was, clean up your room and you get ice cream. As an adult, it's do your job at work and keep your mouth shut, and, you're going to get a paycheck. So when we move into this arena where we're self-employed, it can be real challenging to believe in ourselves because our whole life we've been taught to believe in something other than ourselves. A parent, a system, a school, an employer, an entity. And the self-belief in the end is what attracts people to you. You can work really hard and you can go out there and you can market and you can do, whatever it is. You can run ads and you can do flyers and you can stand on the street corner with a sign on your back. You can wear t-shirts. You can go on the internet and learn, all about Facebook and Facebook ads and YouTube ads and pay-per-click and pay-per-view and paper action and all this stuff. But I'm a firm believer, and this may be a little woo-woo for you, but I believe that every action we take carries energy. So if we run an ad, but the energy behind it is fear and lack of belief, will that ad pull? I don't know. I've seen it not a lot of times. If we run a crummy ad or write a crummy piece, but the belief and the energy behind it is full and clean and excited and energetic and optimistic, will that ad or piece pull? It often does. And it all boils down to working every day on this belief in yourself. How do we do that? One, we're listening to the Home Business Radio Network. As much as you can, guys, pop it on, put it on in the background, use it. It's here for you. We do this for you. 2, we want to be reading on a daily basis. Even if it's 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes at the night, get with the people you're working with, ask them for some of their suggested books. Maybe another topic of a show another day was I'll go through my top 10 suggested books on my reading list for people in the industry. You want to be reading. You want to be plugging into self-affirming things and moving away from things that are likely to tear us down. Now, I like to avoid the news, the media, and all that junk because there's a lot of negativity in there, and I like to surround myself and put myself into environments that are extremely positive. And then you want to surround yourself with people that are going your way, that are going in the same direction as you, that are building businesses, that are looking towards the future, that have dreams, hopes, desires, that aren't in a rut, that aren't just listening to the man telling them what to do. Because those negative voices around you can really slow you down. You know, when I started, there was this voice in my head that was, you're dumb, you're fat, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're fat. You really, really have no clue what you're doing. And how in the world do you think this is going to work, Diane? So I had to drown that out. For me, it was running around and buying tapes and listening to them on a Walkman all day. For you, we have your programming right here that's going to help you change your mind, change your income, change your life. And that's the biggest belief that you got to work on. You got to do it every single day, because if you don't build your belief, others will build it for you. And you'll come to believe in things that are not taking you to the place that you want to be. You know, guys, we come out every week. We come out of the gate Monday morning, and we have a choice. We have a choice about how we're going to feed our mind. If you don't feed it, somebody else will. If you don't program it, somebody else will. If you don't cultivate it, somebody else will. And I promise you, they're going to cultivate seeds of weeds. You'll have a whole bunch of ugly weeds growing in that head of yours, and it's just not going to serve you. So I want to talk again and remind you again, there's only 4 beliefs that you need to work on: your product, your company, the industry, and yourself. Hope you jotted those down. Go to work on it today, and I'll bring you more and more and more resources on things you can do that'll help you get where you want to go. If a dumpy little housewife could change her life dramatically like I did, imagine what you could do. If I could get out of $40,000 in debt, if I could change the way I spoke, walked, talked, and everything about me, imagine what you can do. Guys, this has been Diane Hochman here on the Home Business Radio Network, positive, powered radio. I want to give a hats off tip of the hat to all my fellow hosts here on the network. Excited as we expand around the world. It's mobile. Take it in your pocket. Put it on the computer. We will be everywhere, and we want you to take us with you. If you'd like more information, training, tips, help, and all that other good stuff, you can always find me over at DianeHochman.com. It's DianeHochman.com. Be sure to put in your name and email so I can send you lots of great tips and training. And of course, I'd love to see you over at Facebook. My page is Facebook.com/Diane Hochman Training. And you can find me on Twitter pretty much all the time. I'd love to converse with you and chat with you. Twitter.com/Diane Hochman. Guys, that's our topic for tonight. I'm excited about it. 12 years into the game, I'm still working on my beliefs every single day, and the Home Business Radio Network is a big part of it. We'll see you guys on the next show. And again, remember, meet me in the mornings on the Diane in the Morning Show, 10 a.m. Eastern. We have you out at 7 o'clock in the morning Pacific. I love to see you there as well. Take care, everybody.